Hey, what's up? Duff here. Just thought I would give you chapter 3 of my Yellowstone drone park ranger fiasco. When I last left you, I had talked about the letter I got from the district attorney's office in the District of Wyoming. And in that, I'll have a link below to the original video if you're fuzzy about what the heck I'm talking about, where I lay out everything prior to present day. Anyway, I got this letter saying, "Hey, you owe $500 of your fine. We don't show that it was paid back in 2016." Yes, evidently they aren't very diligent about following through on making sure payments are made with the Yellowstone Park Foundation. I replied back to that email to the person that was listed in the email that I should respond back to, and I said, hey, I just want to let you know that there's two parts to this fine, a $500 part and a $285 part. The $285 part, I had an issue with that because it was credited to somebody else, the person that had his trial the same day as mine. And the reason that happened was the original judgment that I received from the District of Wyoming had that other person's case ID on it. So when I made the payment, I referenced the case ID that I had in the paperwork from the District of Wyoming. So long story short, I got a delinquent notice from them for that $285 payment back in June of 2016. I contacted them, I explained what happened. I said, hey, you guys had the wrong case ID in the paperwork you sent me, and that is the case ID that I used. So you applied it to the other person's case. And they were like, oh, well, okay, well, whatever. They didn't quite believe me, but I mean, I have the document that shows what case ID was on there. So, had that issue. In my email, I responded back to this person, and I said, hey, this is what happened with they call it the CVB portion of the fine, which is the Central Violations Bureau. I am pretty sure that this is what happened with the check for $500 as well. So this person responded back. I'm not going to use her name because that wouldn't be right? We don't want to do that. And it wasn't her initial error, but her attitude definitely. Let's just say her attitude fit in exactly with what this entire experience has been, aka shitty. Even though I thought it was pretty clear in the email that I sent her, she was not getting it. She didn't understand the correlation of why I was showing information about the $285 fine versus the $500 fine. She said, I don't know why you're referencing that account, but we need a canceled check showing that you paid it. And of course, again, the issue is it's 6 years later. My bank only holds check images for 5 years, and they don't hold check image. They don't necessarily have check images for stuff that was written out to somebody else. They might, but they don't even necessarily have them, because it wasn't cashed by my bank, or it wasn't written to me. It was written to Yellowstone. So anyways, this person said, oh yeah, we need the cancel check or the bank statement. So we went back and forth with a few emails, and I called her. I said, okay, I'm going to call you. I figured, okay, that's the most direct way to handle something, instead of back and forth. Let's just talk about it, and hopefully she can understand my point, because she was not getting my point. So I called her up. I tried to be as nice as possible. Said, oh, hey, hi, Miss So-and-so. It's Sean Duffy. We've been emailing about this. I thought I'd just call you to talk about it. Immediately, I could sense her attitude. She was already frustrated with me because she thought that I was the one that was confused about what was going on. Again, I tried to verbally explain to her what was going on. Step by step, why I mentioned the other part of the fine, and what I think was happening. And repeatedly, as I was trying to explain this to her, she just kept cutting me off. And she kept saying, it doesn't matter. I don't know what that number is. It doesn't matter. So as I'm on the phone with her, because I got angry. I didn't, curse or anything, but I was definitely angry at her inability to let me finish a statement, and her unwillingness to try to understand what I was saying to her and why it was significant, why this backstory was significant. She did not care. Definitely did not care. So anyways, in one of her emails, she sent me the original judgment, and I had to pull it up while I was on the phone with her. And I said, okay, I'm looking at the paperwork that you sent to me. You sent it to me. Scroll down to page 2. Do you see the case ID that is on page 2? She would not acknowledge that she saw it. She said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know why you're talking about these other case IDs. All that matters is it's your account that we're showing that wasn't paid. I said, it does matter. I mean, I got really annoyed. I mean, I was at the office. I'm sure everybody in my vicinity heard me. I should have closed my door or whatever. I didn't even think about it because I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think I was going to run into someone that didn't give a damn quite as hard as this woman. So I said, anyways, right there is the case ID that was on the original paperwork. You sent this to me. That was on there. That is the wrong case ID for me. It was off by 1. The number that was on that paperwork ended in 21. My case ID ends in 22. And I kept trying, and she kept cutting me off. I kept trying to repeat to her, this is why it's significant. This is why it matters. This is why I think that check got applied to the other person's account. She would not hear it. A couple times she put me on hold for no reason. And finally she came back, and again I tried to reiterate my point. Again, she would not listen. And she said, I don't know. I'm going to have the lawyer associated with the case, the lawyer's office get back to you. I'm like, okay, great. You do that. So, again, I was still trying to clarify what my issue was. And she literally hung up on me. She after she said, I'm going to have the lawyer's office call you. No goodbye. She just hung up on me. So it was really nice. So after she did that, I contacted my bank again. I called them, and I was trying to talk to a rep saying, hey, I really need some help here. I need this information. I have a situation where someone is trying to basically screw me over unless I can show them proof that this check was written back then. And luckily, unlike my interaction with the Wyoming District Attorney's Office, this person was actually understanding, trying to help me as much as possible. He found the statement. He could not access the check, but he found the statement that has that transaction on there, and it clearly says that Yellowstone cashed the check on 3/30 of 2016. So all that's left is for me to get that statement. He couldn't send it to me directly because of security concerns. There's another department it has to be transferred to, and then you get the file securely over some other system. So unfortunately, I couldn't get it right away to send it to this woman to say, hey, here you go. How do you like them apples? Couldn't do that, but hopefully we'll have it within a couple days. So on her last email to me, she said, the attorney is out of the office until Monday. This office will contact you next week regarding this matter. That was what she said. And then I replied to her, and this is a direct quote. I said, the check was cashed on 3/30/16 by Yellowstone. I will be sending you the bank statement that shows this as soon as my bank gets it to me. Whatever bank Yellowstone deals with may have an image of that check. I really do not appreciate the attitude you gave me during the phone call. I understand this original mistake was not made by you, and I'm sorry if you feel I was blaming you for it. I don't. However, if you had paid a fine 6 years ago, was told you didn't, and then when reaching out to address it had someone that was unwilling to listen to the explanation, I doubt you would appreciate it either. Both the CVB, the Central Violations Bureau, mistake and this one are because the wrong case ID was on the judgment that you sent to me yourself. I reference this ID when making both payments. Your failure to understand why this is significant is hard to understand, or maybe you just don't care. Treat others as you would like to be treated, Miss Name Concealed. I hope you have a good day. And that was that. That's what I sent. So I don't know. This whole scenario is one of the most annoying things I've ever been connected to in my life. The whole fine situation, everything connected to it. Again, look at the link in the description below if you want to find out exactly why it was just so annoying. But it blows my mind that 6 years later I'm still dealing with repercussions of this. Crazy. So hopefully by next week I'll send them that bank statement, and they can close the case, and whatever. Our federal government in action. Impressive, right? That's it, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. Duff out.